BillyDate and NarutoRSA. This is one that's been on everybody's mind, is how have the two players from the finale shaped up until this point, right? It's going to be the Ed that's been pretty much the breadwinner to get him into the big dance from last season versus Naruto's big Sagat. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I love to see even more Sagat play because we don't get to see it as much anymore. We obviously had Bonchan on the Sagat for the longest time, but not seeing it represented as much. So NarutoRSA, I feel like is going to have a lot of great ways to deal with BillyDate. It's going to be similar to the Guile play style that we just saw, where it's really good spacing with the tiger
the
tiger shot, and waiting for the tiger uppercut as well. But Ed has once the V trigger is active, Sagat's got to guess.
I want to see what happens with V-Skill 2, actually. I want to know if there's going to be enough. I actually don't remember what the interaction is between V-Skill 2 and the low tiger shot, but hopefully that has to be answered in this matchup specifically. I think one of the biggest things we talk about from the previous match was phase 1, was how do you get past the neutral with a character that has great zoning tools.
Yep. And we didn't get to see that last time, but hopefully we get to see that in this game because you need to have that at this point in the bracket. You need to have that consistency because Layer 1 is always going to be a staple in everybody's pockets on these characters, and you have to force them into that uncomfortability where they don't feel comfortable throwing their fireballs, or else they're just going to run over you. So is it going to be the Sagat's day, or can BillyDate, consistently show us once again why they're here with the Ed and why they challenge for the position of #1 against Jabi-M?
One of the biggest things we also have to mention is that Billy has a main with Necalli.
Oh, yeah.
Right? He does have pocket Zeku and Minot. I think we've seen glimpses of that from CPT runs, even in the finale, but I think Necalli might not be a bad choice at all, actually. In terms of Sagat versus Necalli, we did see that last week as well. I think Necalli has a great time with his V-Skill 1 to contest against the tiger shots. It is faster this time around. So we'll see if that even comes to fruition. It's going to be the Minot.
All right. I really like this too because you know what? Challenge zoning with zoning. Minot has always been a fantastic pick. We see Sako just do wonders on this character. So seeing even more Minot, this is what is so good about having a wealth of characters. You get to approach any matchup the way you want with a different play style. So this is going to be exciting to see. I haven't gotten to see a lot of BillyDate's Minot, and this is
If he does one thing in the matchup, then he's ready for it. I want to know if he's got it. Okay, well, that's a fantastic start.
Yeah, that was fantastic. The orb placement was so good and already nullifying all of the tiger
this was better than the Goichi strategy of using the V-Skill against the tiger shot to reset the timing. Oh, no!
This is the worst position for the side of BillyDate, losing the orb early, but getting the call back right there.
That was so smart from Naruto.
Yep.
Oh, it's a balance. It's the law of equivalent exchange. You do one smart thing and you do one risky thing.
You have to keep the balance because it always keeps your opponent on the toes. I am loving this usage right now. This is amazing.
Yeah, V-Trigger 2 is so underutilized. But I get it. I mean, there's so much potential for V-Trigger 1.
Oh. Yeah, all the potential in the world for the V-Trigger 1, but if you're not ready for the V-Trigger 2, can be utilized to great extent. And again, catching the
so
jump,
tricky.
That was so good.
That was actually mad tricky. BillyDate, you are a sneaky, sneaky fella. I gotta say, that was pretty good.
Yeah, and the thing about that, why it was so good, is every single time went for the orb on the ground and finally called out the anti-air because Naruto got privy to jumping. Love it.
What's crazy is Billy doesn't even have to rely on any sort of reflex to reset the timing and use the projectile against Naruto. I think that's one of the big highlights that Daigo had when it came to Goichi playing against I think it was Bonchan. He's like, Goichi wins this match if he knows the one strategy to contest the tiger shot. And he's like, oh, he's got it. It's fine. It's in the bag.
Yeah, once you have that ability to contest, it gets a lot easier to navigate this. What a pickup, but again, not able to get the full confirm. Still, BillyDate willing to play this out patient, and this is two zoners on a date in neutral. Oh, no.
Again, getting the big opening off of the jump down house based off of the release. But BillyDate, well, being able to get himself out of the corner. Trigger 2 is a problem. He actually ran into it. That was a frame trap with the trigger.
Yeah, and the thing that's so hard here is you throw any more tiger shots and you would have got caught by the V-trigger, but spends it all right now. That gray health is so important because any activate on the bomb from the orb is so good, but yeah, tiger shot into activate right here. Now you have to deal with all this pressure. You can do so much damage, but it does not matter when you've got a pixel and no dreams left. BillyDate getting the first game against NarutoRSA, believe it.
This is so tricky actually. This is what I like to see from Billy, sharpening himself up for this particular event. This is just the preface of what's to come with this Menard. I'm very excited to see it. I did see Naruto trying to press with the frame traps a couple of times, too, but it's so difficult after you've pushed a certain distance away. It's like now you have to like walk. Now you have to use like a standing medium kick to kind of to fish for something, but it's like it's not going to lead to a lot unless you have V-trigger, right? It's just like back to this space where you could only poke, right? If you get counter-poked, you're pretty much dead, which is exactly what happened in that round, right? So it was kind of tough. I don't think there was going to be any chance for BillyDate to actually get opened up with a frame trap. He was just going to sit and block for a while. So I wanted to know what Naruto had in store outside of just trying to get those frame traps going. Maybe like a throw. Maybe start implementing throw for the next set. Next part of the set, I should say. Yeah,
maybe even I would say I want to see in that pressure where walking forward, maybe going for a neutral jump with the the roundhouse to catch, because we saw that check on the jab. Might have been able to get a punish there, but has to change it up because, like you said, that V-trigger win condition at those spaces where Menat feels comfortable challenging, it was just lights out for Naruto at that point. BillyDate was already playing so patient in the neutral and is going to play patient in that close-up range. So you got to instill the throw. You have to instill this other pressure because Layer 1 did not work out for you in that first game. We have to ascend now.
I wonder if there's going to be enough time for Naruto to pick up the pieces in this particular matchup. It's tough. I'm not going to lie. I mean, we've seen what Menat can do in the hands of Billy.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
That's not on the sheet.
That's not. You know what? You can't just take our notes and throw them in the trash. I knew, like, when we had that little bit of a lull between the match, I was like, what character is going to be picked right here? Because maybe it's just taking time, but you always have to have that in the back of the head. Oh, my God. That was so cool.
Yeah, that was practice. That was rehearsed, practice, and executed from BillyDate. That specific situation.
Dalsum Jr. with the dive right there.
That's true, yeah. Ooh.
Oh, yep, and again, now we're seeing the reflex. We didn't see that before against the Sagat because the fireballs are a little bit faster, but against Akuma...
We did like a handful of times, like 2 or 3 times, but it wasn't like the defining factor, right? So BillyDate being able to throw those out still in those heated moments, being able to see and react to the red fireball.
Yep.
Very clutch.
Absolutely love that, but the clutch factor comes in from Akuma here.
That was so tricky.
You can't drop that, no. Oh my God,
that's even bigger.
Yeah, that is huge.
A hard knockdown with damage.
And and you know what? Better than a neutral jump, the forward fierce to get the crab crush right there. I love that from Naruto. And you know what? The Akuma's already playing out better.
Getting around on the board, absolutely. Full critical art as well. That's so dangerous. Watch out for the recall.
And you know what? I really like this from Naruto because every single jump fireball changing in the jump timing has made BillyDate's anti-airs a lot more inconsistent and now afraid to challenge with the anti-airs. Looking excellent here.
Yes, I love the corner carry. Using that meter for the EX Demon Flip is so smart.
Yep, screen position is huge. Once Akuma gets you in the corner, it is a rough situation. BillyDate wants to continue to control that space. And again, controlling the jump arcs once again with a fireball, keeping himself safe on these jump-ins.
Oh, the interruption! Actually, unfortunate for Naruto. Getting that meter stuffed out. But better for Billy. I like that trade more so for Naruto than for Billy, but
yeah. Now. I mean, even in that trade, too, it gives you a little bit of extra damage to get that V-trigger, and this is where the party starts right here. Just take the throw over and over again. But now challenging out, you're still stuck! Oh, my goodness! And Naruto, the Akuma pick in the pocket was definitely what the doctor ordered, because right now, we are looking in charge. And now the ball is in BillyDate's court. Do you switch off the Menat? Because Naruto is now stuck on this Akuma. Do you feel comfortable on the Nakali, the Ed, the Zeku, or maybe something that's not even on the sheet against this Akuma? Because someone who's as explosive as Ed or Nakali can just eat Akuma alive.
I agree. I think either of those two characters that have been extremely polished over the course of the year, I think is going to be more than enough to take on the Akuma. But I think there was like a matchup knowledge check or like a character check, just because Billy pressed the button after V-trigger fireball, and that's a big no-no. That's been a no-no since like forever. Like any sort of enhanced fireball that Akuma throws at you, you're not allowed to press a button.
That's against the rules. So
it is. Yeah, that is against the rules of Street Fighter.
Didn't follow the #1 rule. You didn't read the tape. What?
There's no chance anybody's gonna let a normal fly out after like a fireball like that, right?
Well, no. So taking that risk. I mean, unless it's an uppercut, right? But Menat doesn't have that opportunity to
You did
escape
see an
that
EX,
way.
yeah. There was some sort of EX. I can't even imagine what it was or what it could have been from Billy, but that was still not going to be enough. Considering the time that's been taken, I'd imagine there is going to be a character select for BillyDate. It's just a matter of whether or not it's going to be Nikali or the Ed. Personally, I like either choice. Again, you mentioned it earlier, being able to utilize their toolkit to get past the Shotos.
Oh, and the Zeku. We're just wrong across the board every
That's
time.
fine.
I like that too. Deals with the fireballs really well with the old Zeku. Can rush down with the young Zeku as well. So we were talking about explosive damage, and Zeku definitely has that on deck. You know, a little bit harder to execute, but already starting off confident and getting that screen position early.
Yes, I love the backup there from BillyDate. As soon as his turn was over, he was looking and anticipating for the jump out option.
Oh my goodness, challenge right there on the EX. Not the best situation, and again, changing up the jump arcs once again. Back to young Zeku.
That's kind of a problem now.
Yep.
Doesn't have an escape option, but you know, V-trigger 2, that's pretty good, man. That's actually pretty good for an anti-air.
Yeah, and now stealing the corner off of that too, and stealing that round away quickly. What looked so good for Naruto, getting that screen position, getting the corner, lights out in a moment because the 2-bar V-trigger activated incredibly fast, and BillyDate now on set point. What a whip punish.
He's crouching medium punch, no buttons to be had from Naruto, getting himself out of the corner, or at least preventing it from happening. But Billy doesn't give a damn. Looking for the stun right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. And more than a stun. Big punish right there off the crush counter, and that should be a wrap here. Do you have the damage on deck? It was a low-scaled starter, and it is more than enough. The last hit, so good. And like I said, the explosive damage was the decider right there.
Jeez.
Sometimes you got to make smart decisions. Sometimes you make the risky decision, and the risky decision now sends Naruto down to the loser side. BillyDate is going to be playing tomorrow, gets to chill out on the Minot, the Zeku, the Ed, or the Nikali, but we're not going to see any of those anymore today from BillyDate. But what a first 3 matches, and we got a little quick replay right here as well to show us the character diversity that we had just in this set.
We're pretty much going around the world in terms of the cast that's been presented.
Oh, yeah.
Right, BillyDate pretty much flexercising the characters under his belt. The wheelhouse of options also coming in from Naruto, from Sagat to Akuma. There was a lot of mishaps from the side of BillyDate. Wasn't able to keep up with the pace that Naruto was playing at, right? There was just been so much information dumped from how we had to play against Sagat, a very steady pace.
Yep.
In the switch up, going into pretty much 5th to 6th gear against the Akuma.
Yeah, the volatile pace that Akuma provides, and you know, BillyDate had the edge in that slow-paced game, the steady and slow. But as soon as Akuma was on the screen, it was all she wrote for the Sagat. But Zeku had all the answers right there. Got this wonderful combo at the end. Didn't have the meter, but actually did have the meter at the end and finished it off with that last touch. So wonderful stuff to BillyDate. Going to be moving on to play tomorrow, and ultimately we'll be playing the winner of Goba and your favorite player name in the entire bracket, Vin Petroleum.